Hey there my friends, Kevin Steineman here with Crypto Daily News, episode number 32. I can't believe I've already been doing this for 30 episodes, but the date is August 21st, and Bitcoin as well as another altcoins like Ethereum, LTC, EOS, and XRP are actually up quite a bit today. Bitcoin's at 6,800, up about 7%. Ethereum's at 298, about 8% up. Litecoin's at $58. We got EOS at just over $5, and we also have XRP sitting at 35 cents, which last week it was at 26 cents. So pretty cool to see that the markets are finally going up, and I'm hoping that if you have been holding on for dear life, then your heart is no longer down in your chest like you should jump out the window, but instead you have some sign of relief here. So cool things happen in the news today. I'm just going to cover the quick bit of news first, and then I'll get into something that I find really interesting because it's actually something that my friend and I were talking about just a couple days ago. So first and foremost, Apple's Steve Wozniak is actually planning to start getting involved in a blockchain project. He announced this at the Chain Exchange conference earlier this week. As it's been reported, basically he's really a big fan of the technology. In his own words, he thinks that there's no surprise why many venture capitalists and people are starting to get into cryptocurrency and investing and things like that, but also just because of the fact that what blockchain is able to do with the technology it provides, anywhere from real estate, with systems in place for managing different types of technological processes and transactions to make them transparent, things like that. Essentially, he said that a few people can see the value, which reminds me very much of the early internet days. This is from Steve Wozniak, one of the founders of modern computing, saying that about blockchain technology and cryptocurrency. So in other words, it's disruptive, it's a game changer, and you need to get into it. So second thing here is that researchers have challenged Bitcoin mining energy consumption alarmists, saying that their debate is actually oversimplified. And before I even go into this, I want to just explain further for context. Essentially, there are many environmental researchers saying that because of the rise in Bitcoin mining, it's affecting the energy levels and attributing towards global warming, and so therefore crypto mining is bad, and the more Bitcoin mining and crypto mining that happens, the more increase that's going to happen with global warming. So this is actually something that my friend and I have been talking about over the last couple of days, and at first I was kind of sitting there thinking to myself that I don't think this is possible because the amount of energy being consumed to actually mine Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies is only a fraction of the percentage being used in the world. And as the research has stated, recent research estimates that mining could account for 0.5% of global energy usage by 2018, but it's not so much how much energy it's using, it's what sources are being used to generate that energy. So if you look at places like China, they're still very reliant on things like fossil fuel. Iceland is definitely more towards renewables. Miners, however, regardless of where they live, they're looking for things that are the cheapest, most efficient, and definitely renewable to continue scaling their operations for the long term. Because essentially, when you're mining, it's not like the mining is going to get easier every single day that passes. As a matter of fact, it gets harder. Every time a block is solved, the difficulty increases in how things actually have to compute and all these different things that have to happen to solve the equations, the process among the blockchain. So essentially, with carbon density and dirty power supplies being the crux of this researcher's article, they also noted another perspective to contextualize Bitcoin mining. If mining consumes an estimated 30 terawatt hours in 2017, banking continues to consume an estimated 100 terawatts of power each year, even if Bitcoin technology were to mature by more than 100 times its current market size, it would still only equal 2% of all energy consumption. Now, I thought there was an actual great perspective from one of Google's employees. He's actually a security engineer. His name is Mark Bivan, and he said that because miners are so sensitive to electricity prices, they're often a driver pushing utilities to further develop renewables, which are now the cheapest source of energy. If the energy use of the cryptocurrency miners continue to increase, they will help decrease the cost of renewables for society at large. Increased demand equals increased research and development equals increased capacity and higher efficiency equals lower costs through economies at scale. So essentially what he's trying to say is miners don't want to rely on energy sources that are going to cost them a lot at scale. If they're mining and it turns out that their mining is working and producing profits and they want to scale up their operations, then they definitely do not want to be reliant on an energy source that is going to cost them a lot to do so. Hence why there's a lot of innovation coming with blockchain that is also towards energy and renewable energy to actually power blockchain mining and cryptocurrency mining, all these different things. So it's pretty cool what's happening. But another announcement today with MetLife, a subsidiary called Lumen Lab Pilots, has actually launched something on the blockchain today to have an insurance system for people with diabetes. The Singapore-based digital innovation center Lumen Lab is testing a blockchain-enabled insurance solution for people that have diabetes. As stated in their press release earlier today, Lumen Lab is a subsidiary of financial services provider MetLife and has reportedly developed a new project within the Monetary Authority of Singapore's MAS, Regulatory Sandbox. And so, to me, when I read this, I kind of look at it from the perspective of MetLife is a giant insurance company, and it's only one of the insurance companies as of late that has conveyed their interest and shown their interest through their investments that they're getting into blockchain. So if this wasn't enough of a indicator for you that you need to start thinking about getting involved yourself and educating yourself about what's happening in the cryptocurrency markets as well as blockchain, I think you need to think about this. There are venture capitalists throwing hundreds of millions of dollars at blockchain and cryptocurrency related startups. There are banks and large financial institutions throwing billions and even trillions of dollars to trade on these different cryptocurrency exchanges. There are insurance companies, which are some of the most valuable companies in the world, if not the most valuable, and they are starting to get a bigger and bigger foothold within blockchain and cryptocurrency as well. So those are three of some of the biggest industries, all moving towards the same exact thing. And to me, when I look at this and I read this stuff and I see everything that's happening, it makes sense to follow the smart money, because why else would they be throwing hundreds of millions of dollars at this? Recently, I read a report from IBM with their stablecoin. Stablecoin is actually working with the Stellar system. It's basically what they're trying to do is make it so cryptocurrency through their stablecoin is tied to fiat assets or other types of assets like real estate or commodities and things like that. So IBM is very much into cryptocurrency as well and looking to utilize blockchain for so many different things. It's kind of crazy. So last thing I want to cover, Huobi has launched a new service to streamline token listing application processes. So if you are an ICO company that is about to actually have an initial coin offering and you want to expedite your time in trying to get listed on Huobi, then this is going to be great for you, because as they're calling it, the Huobi Automated Listing Platform is a project that is going to allow people to list on Huobi Global for an autonomous digital asset exchange. The Huobi HADAX, so HADAX I guess, will have to register and submit specific documentation about the project. The announcement states that the Huobi Automated Listing Platform will not automatically list any token or coin that applies, but it's still going to help expedite the process for any new companies that are looking to get their tokens listed on an exchange like Huobi, which is one of the biggest ones out there. So I hope you guys have found this helpful, and if you're looking to find out more, definitely visit our website, cryptodailynews.online. This is Kevin Steinman with Crypto Daily News, episode number 32, and the date is August 21st. Talk to you soon. Take care.
Ridiculous, without even trying. How do they do it? This is 10% luck, 20% skill, 15% concentrated power of will, 5% pleasure, 50% pain, and 100% reason to remember.